Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. You know, the goal of this channel has always been to get people in the group that actually make money in crypto. And that is no easy endeavor. The fact is, over 90% of everyone investing in crypto lose money, and we want to change that. Now, in this video, we're going to dive into where are we? What's the strategy going forward? I'm just going to tell you my thoughts, kind of rant away. We'll take a look at a couple of charts, and then I'm going to tell you one token that I'm about to start stacking on low leverage just as a swing trade for maybe a week or two. But I really think it's a great project, and not a lot of people agree with me. But that's okay. It's your money. Anyway, guys, hit the like button. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps this channel a lot. So, hit that like button. Let's dive into it. Well, guys, you know, this is brutal. I mean, we're in November, and we really haven't had an altcoin season. Now, some people would say we have. I've actually been thinking that we have had an altcoin season. It was just different than what we thought. And that easy money, no matter what, is definitely gone. You're going to have to earn your money. And hopefully you guys have a game plan for the remainder of this cycle. Whether it's over, or it's going to start, or it's going to be extended, or whatever. Hopefully you have a game plan and some dry powder. All right. Right now, guys, man, things are just getting beat up. Now, for whatever this is worth, we've been shorting ICP in our inner circle because, guys, just as a general rule, when you get an older Dino token pumping on red days, it's not going to last. So we shorted ICP when it got into this resistance, and we're doing pretty well now. Now, that doesn't mean that I am bearish on ICP or altcoins. I just understand that the smart money manipulates everyone, and when they start to pump on days like this, it's just manipulation. And once the liquidity starts to grow, the big money is going to dump on you, and we'll cover and move on. And if you want to learn how to short, guys, stay with me. We'll talk about it at the end. All right, guys, extreme fear on the fear and greed index. That's what I'm talking about. That gets me excited. Now, I'd be a lot more excited if we weren't into November, but we've been waiting for that. Now, guys, I don't know. I've made probably 10 videos talking about the fear and greed index. Now, they're only showing 27. But if you look at the historical for this cycle, if you bought every time it got in the orange and definitely in the red, and just sold when it got back to the yellow and the light green, and definitely got all the way out in the dark green, it's a no-brainer. But what people are going to do, they're going to wait until it gets back up to the yellow, gets around 50%, and they'll go, okay, yeah, we are going to have an altcoin season. Well, here's the way I see it, guys. And I say this with love because I'm in the same boat. Well, you know, I started this almost 4 years ago with a game plan. So now I can either call it quits, sell out, start shorting, and move on or whatever, right? Or I can stick to my game plan that we are going to have an altcoin season. Well, I believe we probably have been. We just didn't know it was altcoin season. I haven't called for an altcoin season yet. But I do believe that at some point, especially that Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, some of the big money, the smart money who's made a killing, are going to take a percent of that and roll into altcoins because it's just too easy to take money from the hodlers. So I think we are going to have an altcoin season. But let's just have a real conversation, because I don't have the answer. I wish I did, and I want you to let me know in the comments where you think we are, because I don't know. Because, this is the old Wall Street cheat sheet that most people use all the time, and it has a lot of validity to it. But when the cycle ends or cycle starts, we all have a lot of hope. Okay, check. We know we went through the hope part. Optimism, yes, like after the election, for sure, we had some optimism. So we went through there. Some people started really believing and went all in. Thank goodness I never did that. So I would say, as a rule, most people started getting into the belief. Now, did we get into the thrill? I mean, some people did. I know a lot of people just made a ton of money, but they were just using leverage and taking profits all the way, which I've been preaching. But I know for sure the majority of people didn't get much of a thrill, and every time we started to get a thrill, it crashed. And I know for sure, no ifs and buts about it, no one has experienced euphoria that I know of. So it seems to me we kind of went in somewhere around here, and it seems to me maybe we skipped over to anxiety. So I don't know. So here's where we're at, in my opinion. We either have this left, and maybe it extends into 2026, but it will do it without my altcoins. I will be out of all my altcoins by this year, period, right or wrong, and I'll be swing trading and going short. And I've been waiting for the bear market to short hard all year. So I'm excited about that part. But this doesn't feel like a blow-off top in any way, shape, or form. But guys, I really don't know, and I'm curious what you guys think. So either we have this left to happen, or we kind of just skipped it and there's no real altcoin season, and we're just going to go into the bear market. And most people are going to get crushed, and there will probably never be another real altcoin season, because most retail got wrecked in 2021 when their favorite, say, Dino token didn't hit a new all-time high, and it didn't do it again in this cycle. Most people are wrecked, and they're not gearing up, 3 or 4 years from now to lose more money. I truly believe that. Now, that being said, again, I'm just ranting away, but bear with me, guys. The one good thing about getting older is, I've been around a long time. I bought my first foreign currency like in 1990. But during the dot-com days, this reminds me exactly of what we witnessed. There were more millionaires, billionaires made out of Silicon Valley. If it had .com, any promise whatsoever, Wall Street was backing them, going public. People were making life-changing money, which is very rare in stocks to get, a 10, 20x on a stock. It was commonplace. Well, it's deja vu. And I believe, and I've always believed, that Wall Street, the legacy banks, and the governments are going to basically take over, pick the winners and losers, and dominate this tech. I just didn't think it would happen in this cycle. And hopefully I'm wrong, but they are dominating, period. And most of these projects, guys, are not coming back for the next cycle. And most are not going to hit a new all-time high. And I wish someone would have told me 4 years ago that 90% of all altcoins don't hit a new all-time high because of bad tokenomics. No one cares about tokenomics, guys. But it doesn't matter how good anything is. If it was set up for the founders, the insiders, and the early investors to dump on you and get rich, no matter whether it becomes the future or not, you really don't have much of a chance unless you just take profits anytime they pump, because they are constantly dumping on us. All right, that being said, here's a positive note. And guys, if you don't use coin glass and understand the liquidation maps like this, man, you need to spend some time on it. But look at this. I believe there's a good chance we go on down to like 98,000 on Bitcoin. But I have no doubt it's going to come roaring back. Because look at this, guys. The more discrepancy you get, see, this is the market makers and like Binance and the big boys. They take it down. They wipe out the people on leverage that think they're smart and, oh, it's altcoin season and I'm going to get rich. No, they're going to take your money. Everyone, guys, looks at this as their money. It's a blood sport. If you win, someone loses. So when you're sitting there as a tribe or as an individual or whatever, you're sitting there going, that's my money. I'm going to take my profit. I'm going to get my Lambo. Well, the market makers are like, not if I can help it. That's my money. Binance is like, no, that's my money, which is a very true statement, right? The whales are going, no, I'm going to manipulate you. That's my money. The big influencers that can manipulate their communities, they're going, no, that's my money. So, guys, you have to understand that. So that being said, I cannot be more bullish on Bitcoin. The tailwinds it has behind its sales are off the chart. And once they finish going down and find the bottom wherever they are, and I truly don't believe we've been living good enough to get like $75,000 Bitcoin again, they're not going to give us that opportunity. And if they do, it'll be at 3 in the morning like a lightning bolt. But they will take it out because there's a lot of dumb people shorting Bitcoin right now. And they are going to go get that money. And guys, if you're going to short, you short the pumps. You short the all-time highs. You short ICP on days like this when everything else is red, and you get something like this as green and it's ICP? Really? You think it's going to lead this bull run for the remainder or something? No, it's manipulation. I wish we could short this. This will come back, mark my words. But unfortunately, you can't short it. All right, that being said, guys, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I just don't know if this is when Wall Street and the banks take over and Bitcoin separates itself from altcoins. It could happen. So I don't know how far Bitcoin can pull up the altcoins. And I don't know if we can consistently ever outperform Bitcoin from here on out. I don't know. But I do know I'm getting ready to short aggressively and go from scalping the shorts to holding them overnight. Anyway, all right, guys. Crypto's tribal. I was in crypto like a year and a half before I realized that when I was debating someone or making comments that we were not talking about best investment. People were talking about the best tech and the ones they liked the best and the ones that were more scalable. What? Guys, I'm here for the money. Tech doesn't matter. This is just open source and code, right? It's just technology that the whole world has. And guys, if you haven't watched the Fed Payment Crypto Innovation Summit, you have to watch it, and then you'll laugh at most of these influencers that tell you like the ISO tokens are going to take over the world, because they're not. And you'll know that if you just do some research. So before you hate on me in the comments, watch the video, which, gotta warn you, 7 hours, so I know you're not going to do it, but you'll realize none of your favorite tokens were talked about. They were talking about Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, JP Morgan, Visa, all the big players with all the customers, what their RWA and payment strategy is with this tech, and it's off the chart. All right, Joseph Lubin created MetaMask. He owns Consensys. Well, guys, whether you want to hear this or not, a lot of people are like, oh, tomorrow my favorite token's going to do this and do that. Well, what are they waiting on? Because Consensys is killing it. It's basically a side chain of Ethereum, but they created MetaMask. They are linked to Wall Street and the banks. Swift came out, and what'd they say? They're going to use Consensys, Ethereum, and Lena for the new Swift platform moving forward. They don't need any of the ISO tokens. The ISO tokens need them. But guess what else Consensys just was awarded? When NASDAQ talks about tokenizing assets, they pick Consensys. And in the announcement, which no one talks about because it goes against their biased opinion, which, guys, I don't care what the answer is. I just want to know how to be correct in my thinking. But Consensys is going to use, has Swift as their powerhouse customer moving forward. It has the DTCC, which settles all the stocks around the world. They have picked Consensys, Ethereum product suite. Now, I don't know if that's going to use Lena or not. He didn't mention that. He just said this basically the Consensys product suite, which does include Lena. Now, NASDAQ, when they tokenize all the NASDAQs stocks, Tesla, NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, well, they've announced they're going to be using Consensys product suite. They're not using probably any of your favorite tokens. That being said, whether you like it or not, I'm going to buy Lena. And I'm going to buy it on low leverage, and I'm going to hold it for a week or so. And when it starts to pump, I'm going to just take profits. If I'm wrong, I'll get out and move on. But here's some of the news they have. You know, guys, here's some alpha. Whether you want to hear this or not, in my opinion, and people a lot smarter than me truly believe that utility doesn't really matter if it doesn't have a profit-making mechanism. Tell me an investment, once you take out the speculation, that is a good investment that doesn't make any money. None of the Dino tokens make money. They don't have flywheels. They don't have buy and burn mechanisms. And guys, I just want to make this clear. You're not decentralized. I mean, you're not deflationary if you're dumping more than you're burning. So just keep that in mind no matter what anyone tells you. But Lena is about to implement their flywheel, that 20% of their gas fees are going to be burned for Ethereum, and 80% of their fees are going to be burned on Lena. So guys, that's what pumped Hyperliquid and the other new projects that are doing well, like Aster and those type projects, because they take their money and they give back to the token holders. It actually has value outside of speculation. So guys, here's what I'm doing going forward for the remainder of this bull run. I hope we get another pump, and I will be just getting out of all my altcoins. I won't sell my Bitcoin, and then I'm going to just use leverage, short-term leverage, buy and sells. I can't wait to increase my shorting, which has already been 75% of my trades. Thank goodness I know how to trade short. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to get ready for the bear market. And guys, here's some alpha. Just keep this in the back of your mind. No matter what, look what we just experienced. Even if we pump to the moon, and I hope we do, and every token does a 20x, this is exactly what game over looks like when we start the bear. What happened 2 Fridays ago? We wake up and everyone was wrecked. And then it started to pump up and we're like, oh, that was just a fluke. Running stops, manipulation. Now look where we're at. People are freaking out. People are out of money. They don't have dry powder because they haven't taken any profits. But guys, if it's over, we've already missed it. But guys, for you hodlers, no matter how much you make, let's just say hypothetically we have a run between now and Christmas. I hope we do, because we know how fast things can move. just like after the election. You can change your life literally overnight, definitely in a week. So let's say that happens. It's not going to run and run and run, and people will forget. If you're not taking profits along the way, and if you're sitting there going, well, when I hit this, guys, that's how you get wrecked. Take the profits, get your initial investment back. Boom, take handfuls. Now you're in that 10% club. You can't lose once you have your money left on the side. You won. May not be the win you wanted, may not be a Lambo, but hey, maybe it's a new F-150, right? So guys, you got to get a game plan, and I highly recommend you learn to short. And then I meant to say, Consensys is going public, guys. Look what Circle did. Look what MicroStrategy did. Look at all these new IPOs that are linked to crypto. That's where Wall Street's going. They have the money, and I have news for you guys. Wall Street, even if they're investing in Solana ETF, Ethereum ETF, Bitcoin ETF, they're here for the profits. They're not going to hodl. They're not going to hold forever. They're going to take their profits and cut their losses just like they always do. Why do I know that? Because, guys, when you put in $100 million and you're up 30%, you start taking profits. They're not putting in pocket change. It's real money that moves the world. Their number one goal is to not lose money. And they know all these hodlers, all the retail, and I say it with love, guys, you got dumb money and you got smart money. And the smart money is here. And when they pump up tokens like ICP, the smart money goes, oh, look how much we got. They're the ones that kicked it off. Me and you buying pocket change, 1,000 here, 10,000 there. That doesn't move these markets. Not the bigger markets like ICP or Bitcoin. So once they get the liquidity so that they can sell, they're like, okay, I'm going to dump, take my profits. It's going to kill the market. It's going to kill this ICP pump, but I'm going to go short on huge leverage. And then we'll just roll into Aptos or some other token that has a tribe. Anyway, guys, if you want to learn to short, I think I have the best shorting course ever put together, and I want to create the best short community in all of crypto. And so I've put together a shorting course with 13 videos, comes with a Zoom call to make sure you understand our strategy because it's different than most. And then you get 5 months of my inner circle where I post my alerts for shorting. Guys, it's only $250 for all of that. I think it's going to pay for itself 10x, and who knows over time when you learn the game. Now, I also have a portfolio strategy course which helps you build out your portfolio. Get a game plan. It has 18 videos. Answers all the questions that you're probably going to have about tokenomics, market cap, which they matter, guys, no matter what everyone tells you. How to dollar cost average in and out, how to get a game plan to take profits, how to compare these projects. I don't see anyone comparing, guys. We've got 4 million projects. Or we can just buy Bitcoin, or we can buy real estate, or we can buy MicroStrategy, or we can buy Consensys. No one wants to compare. It's your money. Get more serious. But anyway, that comes with a Zoom call as well. So you get the course. We go through your portfolio on a Zoom call. And then you get 5 months of my inner circle. Also, only $250. Or you can just join the inner circle. That being said, guys, I'll pin my email in the comments and in the description down below. And whether you take me up on any of that or not, do yourself a favor. Take profits or become the profits. And even if you're down, guys, and you put in 10K and now you got 3, you might want to start at the 3. If it gets to 6, maybe take out the 3, right? Just something to think about. Have that dry powder and try to recapture your money. Because, guys, I know this for a fact. You do not want to round trip a 4-year cycle when the odds are whatever token you hold is going to crash 93+% and not come back. Just ask the XRP army what it's like to buy XRP at 392 in 2018 and not get your money back. You don't want that to happen, especially when you have profits. For the few people watching this that have actually have some profits, guys, get your initial investment back. Get that dry powder. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Hit that like button. And guys, where are we? Where are we? I'd really like to know. But come back and subscribe. Be part of this community. And guys, I want to be very clear. I'm not extremely bullish on altcoins, but I'm going to ride them out and I'm going to short. But guys, I can't be more bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to change the world. It's already doing that, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow. Is it going to make life-changing gains every altcoin season? No. But if you own a token with real money, right? If you have real money and you're doubling it every year or so, guys, that's off the charts. And then in 5 years from now or so, you can borrow against your Bitcoin, never need another bank loan, something like that. Guys, I'm bullish. But I'm also bullish on Wall Street, even though I hate it. I really do. I hate it. But guys, you got to follow the smart money. And the smart money is Wall Street. It's the legacy banks. And they are creating these tokens. Guys, cryptos are not stocks. You turn it into money. It's like a 2x4. You take the 2x4, you build a house, you sell the house. So these utility tokens don't make any money at all to speak of to support their ecosystem. But if you have a big bag like Ripple does, and you let people use your supply, and then you take those profits and you buy companies that grow and grow your business, it's a hell of a model. But that's not you, guys. That's not you. You're not using your supply. It's literally like owning a 2x4 and wonder. And 2x4s can pump. I used to be a commodity trader, right? I was a licensed futures and options trader. I traded foreign currencies, coffee, sugar, cocoa. But if a guy takes his lumber and builds a house and gets nasty rich, and you got a supply of lumber, doesn't do you any good. No matter what. It may pump like in COVID, but then it's going to dump because people quit building houses because they can't afford it. Anyway, that's enough rambling. Guys, it's tough out there. Educate yourself, take profits, and remember, if the majority were right, the majority would be rich. And there's no such thing as FUD, guys, but there is a thing called FOMO that wrecks most people. Take care.